Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Kellee from Sherry Rennau. Oh, this is a neat one. Another neat one. They're all neat, right? We had so much fun with this on our Tangle Time sessions today. It is a grid pattern, and so I wanted to create a little bit of a border. And I'm just going to do a 4 square. So let's do that. I feel like this pen, wait, let me wipe off the tip. It might have been going over some other things. I don't know. It feels like it's running out of ink. It's not being very thick. That helps a little bit. Okay. So we have the 4 square. You can do, of course, a larger grid. You could do a smaller grid. And what we want to have is your diagonals alternating in adjacent boxes. Now, you could put just, I could put just a big X in the middle. However, well, even doing this, it's still, I can still miss the center. But sometimes if you do grids like I do grids and they're not even, going from corner to corner to corner makes your grid forgiving. So, and I don't like to use, rulers or, pencil things in, because that's just me. So anyway, you can have fun with that. But, like I said, we want to have each diagonal going in a different direction in each adjacent box. Now, the next step, I call it a loop-to-loop, or it's just a loop, or a lowercase cursive e. And I'm going to start right here. And the thing that I had noticed as I was playing with this is that, let me back up. Like, first glance, I was like, oh, we're going to put a loop in here. And then I looked again. I'm like, well, now, wait a minute. There's a gap here, and it creates this really neat meta pattern when we're done. And it's like, oh, I don't know what it's doing. It's hugging this and leaving a little space here. So in eyeballing it, I decided that. So I'm going to start here and come up. So as I'm going just a little past halfway or around halfway, then I start my loop up. I'm hugging that diagonal line and then moving on. Now, here's what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to skip this one. We're going to do every other one going around this way. And of course, I mean, you can do this in whatever order. You could do them all the way around if you want. I found this to be easy because it's like, all right, I'm doing the same thing in the same box, just turning the tile, and it's all good. So now we'll start with these. Same idea, but we're kind of working it backwards. So I found I needed to actually, because you could start from here, but I found I needed to do it this way. I don't know, probably because I'm weird. And come back. Because I think, because as I'm coming out this way, I'm aiming for, just over or half-ish, halfway, and then coming up and around. Whatever works best for you. I like to share my thoughts behind why I do what I do, because maybe you're thinking the same way, or you're like, I just can't get my head around it, and maybe it will help. That's why I also like to share different ideas that pop into my head for doing things, because same reason. All right. And in the end, it doesn't matter. However you end up doing it is going to be just fine. But you see how it's so cute because they're like hugging each other, right on that diagonal line. And we had the question in our Tangle Time sessions today, what is a meta pattern? Or maybe it's meta shape. It could be both. So you see, after this is done, you see this kind of flowery type pattern. And really, and then you could see these kind of leaf shapes coming out. And that's what it is and this is the idea behind fragments and reticula and if you look at just one of the triangles, it's like this is really the fragment. And then we're putting it, in different, starting on different sides or whatever, and it ends up creating this when we put it together this way. Next is in all of the loops, we're going to put some little C-shaped curve lines. I'm starting here at the base and then working my way up to the top. Like that. I suppose you could work it the other way if you wanted to. Up to you. The other thing I noticed in the step out, and this is why I'm starting here, is it seemed, and it could just be my eyeballs. You take a look, go to the description section and look for more inspiration link, and take a look at Sherry's step out. My version of the step outs are there as well. And it seems to tie into the next step. So that's why I was starting at the bottom here. So that way I could kind of get it close. And I'll show you why in just a minute. And of course, you don't even have to do, just like everything's Zentangle, right? You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. We, like I mentioned, we had a lot of fun playing with this. And if you want to see what we did, in the next few days, I should have that post ready. But if you go to the description section, go below the links to the step outs, you'll find my link tree. There there's links to my website where go there, follow my blog because I will post it there. Also, if you want to, subscribe to the channel here, I post the videos here first and then I go put them on the blog. Usually it's real close together, but there have been times, lots of times, unfortunately, where I will just post the replays and then I don't get around to doing the post, things like that. If you subscribe, if you enjoy me, if you enjoy my work, feel free to subscribe to both. All right, so now that we have this done, here's the part I was mentioning. The reason I was saying if you want to go look, because we had people, they didn't do anything necessarily, they just filled in on these on the loops. Some of them filled in stripes. Just such amazing work. All right, so the next step is we're going to essentially aura these lines going into and from the loop. And what I noticed is that it seemed like she took, from where that little C shape is, and that began the aura. Up to you. I don't, it's one of those, it's so small, I don't think it matters. It could just be coinkydink. That it's like, oh, well, it just happened to be that way. I don't know. But I like the way it looks. I always like, if I could tie something in with something else, I think that's fun. So that's why I started at the bottom. So if I can make that be as close to, right here, that intersection, then that made me happy. And not that my auras are perfect in any way. They're, but it doesn't matter, inconsistency, etc. It doesn't. In the end, you're not necessarily going to see every little inconsistency. It's the overall. All right. And it really does create such a neat, it created a neat pattern without this aura-ing, but now, look at how amazing that is. All right, so then you are left with a lot of amazing area in order to have some fun and play. And that is up to you. You can if you look at my version of the step outs, you will see one way that I played, which was to aura I looked at this overall, this 4-petal flower shape, and I did an additional aura, and then added some additional lines and filled in. I'm gonna copy something I saw on today. Oh, sort of. I don't remember if she put in here, but I'm gonna put a nice orb in here, and I'm just gonna put some flux shapes because I think it was Debbie, our favorite Tangle creator. Although let's see, I want to try to get them, not kind of within. Well, I'm just making it up as I go. Debbie was hers was really gorgeous, and and without going back and looking exactly at what she did. But see, from here we can add some others like that. And of course you have to add the line dot dot. If you're that's just me. If I'm doing a flux shape, I must have look at how neat that line dot dot looks. That's why I love them so. But yeah, we had a lot of really interesting creations from this. That way doesn't that way that center doesn't look like it. Oh, I just did a little flower. You know what? These, no, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm thinking. If I put a little, maybe I'll do it on one. A little. Wait, I just have to do it, and then. But then I will also feel the need to. How was I doing this? Okay. Put a little bee in. So I'm seeing this. I'm seeing. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna put it right here. And I almost have to look it back up. Deb had such a little easy Buzz was the name of the tangle, and it seemed like it was. I know it was a squiggle. I can't remember if it had 2 lines coming out, but anyway, that just to me, I was just like all of a sudden doing a flowery type shape. Then all of a sudden, those look like beehives to me. I just put one in, for cuteness. And maybe after this, I'll look up Buzz, and because it was one of those I want to get it right. So anyway, you get to play with this just however you want to play with it. Let's throw some shading in here. Well, since I'm doing that, let's have fun. I might just do the one side of these. I'm not sure. And this, I'm doing the picking a side and sticking to it regardless of which direction I have turned the tile. Oh, I think I like that. Could do both sides, but these are so small. I don't want to have graphite remorse. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. There's also a tangle called, was it, not jujubes, that's the candy. Maybe it was just like jubies or something. And it's a really neat, whimsical, big bee-ish looking creature, and it's tangle critter. And it's just so cute. Now I'm going to put a little bit of graphite right here at the base of these. If you like the little critters that, people create out of tangles, if you go to my website, or excuse me, the YouTube channel, if you go below and click on either my name or my picture, then that'll take you, I call it the homepage of my YouTube channel. And when you do that, you'll see where you can find the playlists. And so I have way too many playlists. I'm going to, on my list of things to do this year is to go back and pare those down. But I have one called Tangle Critters. And so take a look at that. And so anything, even if it wasn't intended to be, critter, If it just has a look that could look like it looks like a critter, then that's what I called it. And so anyway, it's just so much fun. I thought, let's see, and as I'm saying that, I'm like, oh, let me go look while I'm. Oh yeah, I thought that's how she did it. Okay. Anyway, just so you have that. You know, I think I might just leave it as at that, because I think that looks neat. You could put patterns. Well, actually, let me show you what I did with today's. But okay, for fun, really quick, let's do. We'll do him over. He'll be going over the line. Okay, so this is a little side. Which way is he going? Oh, it's this way. Yeah, that was it. Squiggly line, 2 little flux shapes, 2 little dots, and a longer squiggly line on the end. There we have it. Deb, that's for you. So cute. Oh my gosh. Like I said, it's a really, really neat tangle. I love all the open space to do whatever inspires you. All right, so had fun with it. I did a giant 4 square on a black tile with the jelly roll moonlight jelly rolls that work very nicely, as you can see, over black. And then I also use these new to me Faber-Castell black edition, I think is what it's called. I do have links for all of this. If you go in my link tree in the description section, if you click on that and then scroll down for the Enabler Alert store, I have curated lists of things that I've used, things that other people have used and recommend. And I do believe I have these on there. I'm going to double check, but I know I have the moonlights on there. But they just work so nicely. And so I felt in a flowery mood, and so that's what I did there. And then in our later session, I decided I wanted to work on. This was a prepped tile. I had prepped it with a jelly plate, right? Printmaking things. And I'll tell you what, I had a hard time. Look at that. So here's what I did. I had a hard time. Those who were on the call know, with it smudging. And we think maybe I had used too much paint in doing this, because when we were just learning about the jelly plates and jelly press, I forget what print. It's a printmaking thing, and you use acrylic paint. Anyway, and so my ink kept smudging. And one of the things that I do when I'm stamping, and you know what, I should put this on that list also, is if something is not drying quick enough, I'll put clear embossing powder on top, and then I have a heat gun, right? So for embossing. But look at, whoops, let me get that in the shine. So you can see, I was like, it really was not wanting to dry, because it sat for a while. And I'm like, well, it was smudging still a little bit. And so I just sprinkled it all on top. Yeah, like I said, put the heat gun on. And then I was able to afterwards use a little of the white. I didn't want to do any shading or anything, because I didn't want to blur this any further. So I was going to leave it as it is, but I thought, well, let me throw a little white jelly roll on there, and it worked. So I could probably use like a gray pen or something, but I was kind of liking how it turned out, just like this without anything. And well, you know what? I'm going to make sure to get the replays out. You'll have to watch the PM session of the replay to see. This is a no mistakes tile, because I did things wrong, not the way the step out laid out. And as I said there, and as you know, if you watch a lot of my tangles here, the videos here, if something goes awry, I'm just going to keep going, because if I'm going to say there's no mistakes, then gosh darn it, I better prove that there is no such thing as a mistake. There was mistakes in here. But look at how it turned out. I am tickled with it myself. So, yeah, I just think it's it really turned out well. So, anyway, teaser. All right, so I hope that you have enjoyed this. I feel like I'm missing something. If I have, watch another video, I'm sure I'll fill something else in. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click on the like button. Again, if you like it enough to see more, would love to have you subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you join me. Come tangle with me and my Tangle Addict family online. These are free sessions that I do. I mention them throughout, and so I always, extra highlight on the days that I'm sharing the tangle that we did. Because like I said, we have a lot of fun. I have a lot of people that come to both sessions, and you just get to try again, or some will finish what they started. It's it's up to you. There's no pressure, no anything. You play with the tangle however you are inspired to do it. And my mom is my co-host, and so we're just there to, besides adding some comic relief, to further inspire, give ideas and whatnot, and who knows what conversations we'll get into. So anyway, I just want to come and join us for such fun. Links to places to follow me for classes is also on that link tree. So do take a look at that. And if you happen to be on Facebook, we have a Tangle Addicts community. That's kind of where, a lot of the family hangs out. And just so you know, you have to answer the 4 questions that are there once you click the link in order to gain entry. It's nothing heavy, nothing serious, but I just want to make sure that I have, I guess I could, lack of a better way to put it, real people that want to join versus I don't know what else, the people that are out there trying to spam and whatnot. So anyway, all right. Thank you again so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.